Championship football is back tomorrow. It is game week 3. It is underway with Friday night football under the lights at Pride Park, with Derby take on my team at Bristol City. Before we get into my predictions for this upcoming set of fixtures, we'll have a look at game week 1 and game week 2 and my predictions, and we'll have a look at how bad they were. So game week 1, we got 2 outcomes correct, which was Leicester against Sheffield Wednesday, which ended in 2-1 Leicester win, and we got Saints against Wrexham, also right outcome wise. The only prediction I got absolutely bang on was Charlton against Watford, and even that one I was way too close. Game week 2 was a little bit better. 3 correct outcomes, 2 absolutely bang on. The 2 absolutely bang on were Watford against QPR, which was a little bit of a guess, so I'll take credit for it, but kind of a Hail Mary there. And another very, very close one in Birmingham, who went to Blackburn and won by 2-1. The 3 correct predictions were Hull against Oxford. We're back to Hull win. Hull did win, but they didn't win by 0-0. Ipswich against Southampton, I predicted Desmond. That was 1-1. And I think it was Sheffield Wednesday against Stoke, which ended in a 3-0 Stoke win. I predicted a 2-1 away win, but better than game week 1. So let's hope for further improvement and more correct outcomes this weekend, and more bang on predictions would be lovely. We'll start with Friday night, where Derby play Bristol City, my team, and I don't have good memories of the game. I will be doing a match preview on this. That'll be out tomorrow, so I'll talk about this game in a lot more depth and previewing the game. I'll talk about it briefly though. This is not a good game for Bristol City last season. We got absolutely hammered at Pride Park. 2 different managers for both teams. A lot has changed. A lot has happened in that period, and we probably played them sort of a similar point last season, maybe 3rd, 4th game of the season. So yeah, coincidence. Derby have lost both their games to start the season. They did win in the Carabao Cup. Bristol City have won emphatically and then drawn at home to newly promoted Charlton. Derby have a lot of injuries. Bristol City seem a little bit more settled. We're slowly sort of bedding players back. Max Bird is back, although Joe Williams has had a setback in his injury. Let's hope that Bristol City can go there and take advantage of the fact that Derby will get better as the season gets on, and probably the start of the season at this point, with the volume of injuries that Derby have. I mean, I think if you just look at the starting 11, they're going to produce for a few more games. It's going to look so different than it is in December time, for example. So I'm going to go for Bristol to take advantage of that, despite a slightly negative draw against Charlton. I'm going to go Derby 1, Bristol City 2 to kickstart the weekend. Saturday 12:30s then, Swansea against Watford, and I immediately looked at this game and went, what a headache. Swansea, loss, win to start the season. Watford, loss, win to start the season. Both lost away from home, both won at home. Swansea beat Sheffield United, Watford beat QPR, respectively, at home. I have no clue. And hence why I'm going to go for a cop-out. I'm going to go Swansea 1, Watford 1, because I generally don't have an idea. Charlton up against Leicester next at the Valley. Charlton, I thought, were very impressive at Ashton Gate against Bristol City. Very well drilled, very well organised, very hard to score against. And you won't really see Charlton, well, you'd be very surprised to see Charlton have their pants pulled down, really, in many games defensively. They won't concede many goals. Leicester, they had a very disappointing defeat at Preston last time out. I backed them to win that game, actually. So, you know what? I'm going to go for a repeat for Leicester. I think that momentum at Charlton, that winning momentum, the positive feeling being at the Valley as well, where I don't think many teams will go and win. I'm going to go Charlton 2, Leicester 1, and I'm going to go for Charlton to get their first goal of the season. Hull City against Blackburn next, and Hull have had a good start to the season. Blackburn have not. They've lost both games. They lost very late on against Birmingham at Ewood Park. They go away from home this time. Hull beat Oxford very late on at the MKM. It feels like they've got a nice little starting 11 going on, and the impending sort of return of Mohamed Baloumi might help as well. I'm going to go for a little bit of good feeling at Hull to carry on. I'm going to go for Hull 1, Blackburn 0. Birmingham against Oxford next. Birmingham got their first win, and they probably should have got their first win on opening day, but they've got it, and it was in such a dramatic fashion. That's going to produce a lot of confidence and a lot of good feelings going back into St Andrews, where they're going to be so strong this season. Then you saw that against Ipswich, where cauldron of noise there, and Oxford have had a very disappointing start to the season. It's a return for Gary Rowett to Birmingham, and I think it might be a bit of a struggle. Oxford back-to-back defeats. Birmingham, a lot of good feeling. You can see they're a good team. I'm going to go for a little bit of a battering. I'm going to go Birmingham 3, Oxford 0. Wrexham against Sheffield Wednesday next. Two teams that have both started the season with back-to-back defeats, with slightly different storylines though. Wrexham, they came very close at Southampton. They were a little bit undone at home by West Brom, a good West Brom team. Sheffield Wednesday came close and were competitive against Leicester, but again, pretty easily dismantled by Stoke at Hillsborough. Back of the race course, you'd expect Sheffield Wednesday to be very weak, especially without Pierce Charles now, who looks like he'll be injured for a while. I think Wrexham might finally get their first win back in the Championship. I'm going to go Wrexham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Up next, West Brom up against Pompey. I remember this game being a 5-1 to West Brom last season. I probably don't think it will be 5-1 to West Brom this time around. West Brom have started the season very well. Pompey win and then a loss at home to Norwich. Probably flip that round in terms of what you'd expect from a Pompey side last season, but good to have your first away win in, and they got a little bit unlucky against Norwich. They definitely sort of hammered the door down towards the end and could have got an equaliser, but that wasn't meant to be. I think it'll be a tough test for Pompey to go to Hawthorns right now with a West Brom side that will be high on confidence. Hence why I'm going to go for West Brom to make it 3 wins out of 3. I'm going to go West Brom 2, Pompey 1. Up to Bramall Lane, and it is Sheffield United versus Millwall, the game that was infamously the middle game of the 3-game week that, well, you could say cost Sheffield United automatic promotion last season. Will that happen again? Possibly. Sheffield United don't look ready for the start of the season. I mean, that is probably the general consensus, and probably a fair assessment to make. The squad doesn't look ready. They don't look like they've made enough signings, and any signings now will still take, obviously, a little bit of time to adapt. And, well, the Championship is pretty brutal and pretty relentless. Ruben Sellers has a bit of a job in his hands. Millwall have had a weird start to the season. They won away at Norwich very impressively, very eye-catching result, but then weirdly lost 3-0 at home to Middlesbrough. So what do you know? There's a Championship for you. So I'm going to go for the quality at Sheffield United that's still there. You know, Louis Barry, Tyrese Campbell, Andre Brooke, Callum O'Hare, Gus Harmon. There are still good players there to be effective enough, but I think Millwall are also pretty well organised to not, get caught too much. So I'm going to go Sheffield United 1, Millwall 1. Down to the South Coast, it is Southampton versus Stoke. Southampton have had a pretty decent start of the season, haven't they? They beat Wrexham at St Mary's and then went away to a fellow new relegated side, Ipswich, and got a draw. They drew 1-1 at Portman Road. Stoke have had a very good start of the season, very eye-catching. They've won both games. They won 3-1 on opening day and then won 3-0 away at Hillsborough. You could make the argument they have played two sides who maybe aren't quite ready for different reasons for the start of the season, but you've got to beat what's in front of you, and they've done so emphatically. I think quality and the power of Southampton might be a little bit too much for Stoke, despite their very good start. I would just put them in good stead. So I'm going to go Southampton 2, Stoke 0. Next up is Preston up against Ipswich, and Preston have had a pretty good start to the season, haven't they? They drew away at QPR on opening day, and then they beat a different newly relegated Premier League side in Leicester at Deepdale. And Ipswich, this might be a good time to play them. Ipswich have drawn 2 games in a row. They don't look that well ready. They still have, quite a few signings I'd imagine they want to make for the start of the season. That midfield did not impress me at Birmingham. So I'm going to go for a third straight draw for Ipswich. I'm going to go Preston 1, Ipswich 1. Up next is Norwich up against Middlesbrough. Norwich have had a mixed start to the season. They lost on opening day against Millwall, but then got a very good win away at Pompey, a 2-1 win. Middlesbrough have had a very good start to the season. They surprised me a little bit, I will say. They beat Swansea at the Riverside on opening day and then won at Millwall by 3-0. And they've added a few more signings through the week, so they're starting to look a bit stronger, and I'm feeling a little bit more positive about Middlesbrough. But I think this will be a hard game. I think this will be a tight game, so I'll go for the draw. I'll go for a little bit of a cop-out. I'll go for Desmond. I'll go Norwich 2, Middlesbrough 2. Coventry up against QPR as the final game of this Championship weekend. Coventry have had a pretty decent start of the season. They drew on opening day against Hull, and then won one of the most erratic games I think we'll see this season at Pride Park. They won 5-3 against Derby. QPR still waiting for their first win of the league season. They drew on opening day and then lost at Watford. I think because the fact that this is at Coventry, I think QPR might wait a little bit longer for their win. I'll go for a tight, narrow Coventry win. I'll go Coventry 2, QPR 1. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Those are my predictions for game week 3 of the EFL Championship season, all 12 And yeah, let me know yours in the comment section down below. All 12 predictions would be perfect, and that would be a perfect comment. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Keep safe, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will catch you all later. Cheers.